South Africa hosted a European Commission delegation today for a tour of the country's vaccine manufacturing plants. Now, it's the country's chance to showcase the progress made around locally produced pharmaceutical products. Europe has committed to keep supporting local manufacturing capabilities and to strengthen, of course, South Africa's pharmaceutical systems. Our senior reporter, Aisha Ishmael, is following that story, and she joins me now. Aisha, I mean, this European delegation, are they happy with what they saw?
Well, it was very interesting to see the excitement on the faces of this European delegation, and the delegation was led by the European Commissioner, Stella Kyriakides, and she was talking about the cooperation between the EU and South Africa. Now, this cooperation is not only in terms of lending expertise, but also funding some of the manufacturing plants that we are doing, funding the education that we're doing around vaccine production in South Africa. But also remember that this global cooperation not only benefits South Africa in the long term, it will also benefit the entire African continent. But let's listen to what Commissioner Kyriakides had to say after she visited one of the vaccine production plants in Montague Gardens earlier today.
So I had the opportunity today to see the very impressive work done at Afrigen and seeing the great cooperation between WHO, the Team Europe initiative, in order to be able to move towards having vaccine manufacturing and development in Africa. And I want to use this opportunity to say that this shows how what partnerships can achieve and what global partnerships can achieve, and this is how we need to work in order to address global health challenges. And as a European Commission, we're here to support in every way through Team Europe, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing the developments.
Now, of course, you know, Aisha, there are those who still say that, you know, vaccines don't work. And is it worth spending billions of rand on building vaccine plants? What can you tell us about this?
Well, the experts that I spoke to today, you know, they were saying that, of course, vaccines work, and we've been, especially South Africa, we have been vaccinating for decades. I mean, you know, children are vaccinated against all kinds of diseases. We know that there's chicken pox and there's also mumps and measles, and so of course now we've had the COVID-19 pandemic, and you will also recall that at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was the rich countries that were benefiting from these vaccines, and the poorer countries were left behind. And it is for this reason that South Africa has decided to make this huge investment with the help of global partners, because we, as I said earlier, it's not only going to benefit South Africa, but also the entire African continent. Let's listen to what Professor Tablanche from Afrigen had to say.
This facility has the ability to do end-to-end vaccine development and manufacturing. This facility is the first mRNA platform on the African continent. This facility can design a vaccine, develop a vaccine, and produce a vaccine for human use. This facility was created in response to the pandemic, but the way it is designed and operated and the quality systems will make it suitable for fast pandemic preparedness and response in case of a next pandemic.
And now, of course, we hear that South Africa has its very own COVID vaccine.
That is correct, and Professor Tablanche and her team were so eager to show us this vaccine. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to hand over back to Professor Tablanche to explain to us about this new vaccine designed, produced and developed at Afrigen here in the mother city.
This is a COVID-19 vaccine, mRNA vaccine, which is developed in South Africa in this facility and which are preparing now to go into human trials. This vaccine is... Come closer. So this is part of the team, the phenomenal team that has worked on designing and developing this vaccine. This vaccine is called Afrivac 2121.
So great to see these pharmaceutical developments here on home soil. Thank you so much, Aisha Ismail, with that story.